My name is Luke Wiseman.
Danielle Malone.
John Timmins.
Daniel Riley.
Robert Tulliatu.
Nikki Strawn.
Fauzan Ahmed Tariq.
I am a Macquarie student.
I am a Macquarie University student.
I'm a Macquarie student.
I play a lot of rugby, so I'm doing my bachelor's degree part-time.
I work, I am very involved with the university.
Go to uni, which takes up 1/3 of my time, and then I play sport, which takes up 1/3 of my time.
I currently work full-time. My study fits around that.
Well, I usually go to the lectures. I prefer face-to-face, but most of the times if it's a morning lecture, I wouldn't go for it. And I'm not a morning person, so I would just catch up on it by watching it on Echo 360.
There might be guest speakers, like if there's lots of things going on, like I'm engaging in the content, I'll go every week.
I always think it's more interesting to be in the physical presence of the teacher and to have that interaction, that direct face-to-face interaction with them.
But the downside is that there are a lot of people in most theatres, and when they get distracted, it's sort of easy to get distracted yourself.
I don't find it detrimental to do my lectures online and to not have that face-to-face. I think that's supplemented by your tutorials and your seminars where you do come in, and if you've done the readings and the lectures beforehand, you can just come in and ask the questions that you need asked.
I feel like in the lectures people can be quite intimidated and not wanting to put their hand up in front of everyone. If it's more of an anonymous system or like people can't see their face, I think people might be more inclined to ask questions. Hard for the lecturers to work between using the online tool and lecturing, have a question slide. And so they're taking that time where they can go and look at it while people put their hands up.
There was one instance where they actually turned it off and said, now, before the exam, because you've attended, I'm going to give you this little clue for the exam, and the people watching it won't see it.
Yeah, online lectures really assist with my study for exams because I can go back and find each and every detail of what I'm looking for, what I'm studying for, and I can go and revise over it, and I can take notes.
I have watched a recording of a lecture, but it was mainly to check up on the content, I think, having been there and seen it. So it was like a revision process.
I'd watch the live stream recordings because it helps. You've got to record your attendance, and then I watch a recording to get more out of the content. Well, when you're watching a recording, you're able to stop and start and write down notes and gather the content and take more in.
In subjects, like maths-based subjects, like finance and things like that, I find it like critical to look back and go through extra slow on how to work out equations or.
So what I think would be awesome is if you could ask a question and receive an answer straight away instead of having to post on a forum and wait a few days for the lecturer to get back to you.
I've done recorded lectures that don't have any lecture slides, and they can be pretty hard to follow because when you first start a lecture, you don't always know what the focus is going to be, whereas if you know before he started speaking that these are the things I'm going to talk about in the next 10 minutes, you can see that that's the priority or that's the focus, and then you can focus on supplementing those points.
Key success factor for me when it comes to online delivery is the quality of the production. So what I particularly appreciated with the Leadership and Teams in Action was there was an element of production that had been carefully considered prior to that being made available to the students. Each week there was a short video, and the way that it was presented is someone was interviewing someone else. So each week with each different module, I was able to not just hear from the lecturer, but hear from someone whose subject matter expertise was relevant to that module.
So I have done 2 online courses, and one of the things I found really engaging in one of them was that there was an actual person actually talking to you, and you will feel more engaged.
If there's a bit of humour, I guess, brought into the lecture, and when he refers to external students, you almost feel more engaged just because he or she is referring to you being a student that's not at the lecture.
Responding to polls and live feeds and things like that, I think that's definitely more engaging.
But I think you could have the greatest lecturer with a poor production and it wouldn't be received well. And you could have an average lecturer with a fantastic production and it'd be received better.
So I find that the lectures that are given in a lecture theatre and are recorded and that you can revisit later, I find that those are more helpful than the desktop lectures that your professors or tutors record at the start of the course.
So if it's a live stream, I don't think I would fall asleep per se.
It might be something more interactive in the future, a holographic image.
Is that all right? Oh, okay, so don't look at the...
I've never bought a textbook.